Welcome to the loneliest road in America. It gets its name because back in 1986, that's exactly what Life magazine called it. They said that this road that runs all the way from the Utah-Nevada border to Carson City has no points of interest, and you should only drive it if you have good survival skills. Well, guess what? Today, in true Tread the Globe fashion, we're going to be driving the loneliest road in America. We're Marion and Chris. In 2018, we quit the 9-to-5 and bought Trudy, our camper van.
We are currently on an adventure to drive the circumference of the world.
Bye, guys!
Bye.
Till next time! Miss you already! So we're hitting the road again, and in today's video, we're heading all the way towards the West Coast. We're going to drive America's loneliest road. The weather today has suddenly changed. We've gone from really hot, in your shorts, mid-30s temperatures, to I've got a hoodie on, long pants, socks. It's cold. We've got a few errands to run on the way, and the first one is we need to go and find a mouse trap just in case the mouse is still in the van. Because if you saw the last episode, we had a mouse in the van.
You guys have a mouse in your van? What kind of place do you live in?
So we've stopped at Napa Auto Parts because when we were in the O'Reilly's Auto Parts, they called these guys who said they should be able to order us an oil filter for Trudy. So we've got an extra spare. So fingers crossed, we're just gonna pop in and see if they got them. So we'll see you in a second. Okay, good news. We have an oil filter, which looks the same, so that should be good. And we have a humane mousetrap, just in case our furry friend is still here. So we're just driving north of Moab. This is where we were parked up during our time here. The landscape around Moab has been absolutely fantastic, and now we're excited to be heading on to the next chapter of the drive up towards Alaska. So the other day we actually put in our rough route in America and Canada and heading down to Mexico, and it came up as a whopping 14,000 miles. I think we've got some big drives ahead of us, and with only 2.5 months to get to the top of Alaska before the weather potentially starts changing, we have quite a no mean feat ahead of us. Okay, so we've just driven past a FedEx truck on the other side of the highway. And I want to know, how many of you know about the FedEx Arrow? Do you know what I'm talking about? Because once you see it, you can't unsee it, as my nephew Jasper says. And until he told me that, I'd never ever noticed it.
I reckon that we're going to be driving to the loneliest road, and this already looks like it could be the loneliest road.
That's the thing I'm really enjoying about driving across the states, is that as you travel from state to state, it just keeps changing. It's literally like going to a different country. Lots of solid rock mountains, and it really is a very unusual landscape. Sometimes on this trip you feel like you are just in the middle of nowhere, and I just want you to take on board, look at this view, miles and miles without any buildings. And we haven't even started the loneliest road yet. we've arrived in the town of Scipio, and we're going to go and find somewhere to park up for the night. Very nice houses, aren't they?
Yeah, very nice.
So we just had a lovely meet up with John and his wife, a couple of our Patreons who came down to see us here, and we're going to spend the night here in Scipio. We're parked up at
Flying J's!
Flying J's, there you go. It's actually a truck stop. You can see there's loads of trucks here, surrounded by beautiful mountains. That's the highway we're going to be taking first thing in the morning, heading down I-50 west. It's a good spot for the night. Okay, after our mouse mishap yesterday, we've bought a trap. It's a humane trap, it won't hurt him.
And he gets a nice supper of Reese's peanut butter.
So we're going to leave that trap set tonight and see what happens. So last night we did set the mouse trap with some Reese's, because if you've seen that video, we had a furry friend in the van when we were with Mr. and Mrs. Adventure.
I have not laughed so much. It was hilarious. Although that night we did sleep with the door slightly ajar to see whether it would leave itself. And we think it may have.
I don't think there's anything in there.
Because there's nothing.
No, we didn't catch a mouse last night.
And the food's still there, so...
Either that or it doesn't like Reese's peanut butter chocolatey.
Who doesn't love peanut butter Reese's? Come on.
Because the drive today is around just under 400 miles, we'll probably break it up over a couple of days. I think we better fill up first, because I'm not sure we're going to find many gas stations en route. So we also figured that because the brush that cleans the windscreen is so long, that we should use it just to give the solar panels a quick clean, because they got so dusty driving through Utah and in those dust storms. Okay, we're all fueled, solar panels clean. Are you ready to drive the loneliest road in America?
I'm feeling lonely already.
Let's go. So officially, the loneliest road is the stretch that goes across the state of Nevada. And it's about 129 miles for us to reach the Nevada state line. It's a bit chilly outside. It was cold last night. In fact, it was the first night we actually slept with the heating on, because I think it came down to almost freezing last night. Here we are, Highway 50 West. We're down to a 2-lane road now, which for the States is quite small.
Yeah, it feels really agricultural, and seeing horses grazing in the fields, and it's just pretty.
It's going to be a nice drive.
It's going to be a lovely drive.
So we haven't started the loneliest road yet, but it's still pretty isolated already.
We've seen a couple of cows.
Yeah, there are a few cars on the road, but not that many. But there are towns along this route, so I am expecting to see some traffic. We're coming up near the Nevada border, and the road here has been so remote and desolate, and it's just absolutely mind-blowing. We've still got about 30 miles until the border with Nevada, but how remote is this? You can't hear a thing. There's no cars, just blue skies and mountains, and a road that just seems to go on forever. Trudy's got a lot of squash bugs.
Yeah, well, we said that.
We'll go to a car wash at the end of the loneliest road. Anyway, we got a long drive to go, so let's hit the road again. Coming through the mountains here now, it's turned into a beautiful gorge.
It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. Nice one, Sweet. That's good. So we just come over the top of the mountains and oh my goodness, look at this road. It goes on straight as far as the eye can see with snow-capped mountains in the distance there. We've just crossed the Nevada state line. Yay, welcome to Nevada. Look, there's one lonely petrol station there. And if you're wondering, it's $5.95 for a gallon of diesel and $4.99 for a gallon of normal gas. Pacific time zone. So we've just crossed over and the clocks have gone back another hour. I think we're 8 hours behind the UK now. It's getting more and more confusing to post the videos and call family and friends. And there's the welcome to Nevada sign. So this sign here, the state line, marks the beginning of the loneliest highway, the loneliest road here in America. It runs for 384 miles and goes all the way from here to Carson City. This road gets its name from Life magazine. Back in 1986, they said that this was the most loneliest road in America. Are our survival skills up to it?
Hell yeah.
So we just drove past a pull-off that said, just for putting on your snow chains, all taking them off. So it's obviously that in the winter, this place gets lots of snow. It's just hit 2,000 meters. If you are wondering why we're taking this road, there are faster roads. There are interstates that go from Utah towards the coast, but you don't get views like that when you're driving on the other roads. And it's nice coming off the interstates and coming on these smaller roads.
Yeah.
Does it feel more like back home?
Well, apart from the views.
Remote living here, look, a couple of buildings and not much else as far as the eye can see. There's actually an archway all out of staghorns. Feel like we're entering the Blair Witch Project.
I was thinking Jeepers Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers, oh my lord. Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those creepers? Jeepers Creepers, where'd you get those eyes?
I think there's a lack of oxygen going on in the altitude.
We haven't passed many cars on the road so far, but we are following just one car. We're in convoy with one little silver car here who's driving this stretch of the road with us. So we're just going past loads of wind turbines. There must be 50 of them down there. It seems like there's a long distance to travel to provide electric for the nearest town. As a Brit travelling through America, there's a few culture shocks for us. And one of them is I couldn't understand why lots of passing cars were flicking at the V's at us. I thought, that's not a very friendly welcome, until I asked somebody and they explained that flicking the fingers actually means peace over here. And somehow it just feels wrong. Can't get used to doing that. We just saw a sign for state prison. There's obviously a prison somewhere out here. What a place to put it, because if you escaped, you wouldn't have survived long out here.
Really wouldn't.
So we just spotted this sign here, Ward Charcoal Oven State Historic Site. So we're gonna go and check that out and stop, make a bit of lunch. It looks like we're doing a lonelier road on the loneliest road. So there you go, we've arrived at these ovens, which are just the other side of there. But before we go and see them, it is 2:30, although it's 1:30 now because the clocks went back. So we're gonna make a little bit of lunch first.
Stop it.
Got a few quesadillas going. Looky, looky. Chris made quesadillas. Good?
Very good.
Okay, we're all ready to go into the park. You got to pay. It's $5 per person or a minimum of 10. so don't come on your own. But anyway, we paid $10, we'll pop it in the box, and then we'll go and have a look at these charcoal ovens.
Can you hang these receipts up in there?
There you go, these are them. So these charcoal ovens were built in 1876 and were used to make charcoal for the silver mining.
Charcoal was used in the smelters because it burns slower and hotter than raw wood, which is what is necessary for smelting ore. One oven takes 6 acres of trees.
Wow. And they were built here because there was obviously trees in the area, and they look immaculate. There's 5 of them here, looking in very good condition. It does feel like they were built absolutely in the middle of nowhere though.
Well, originally there would have been trees that they would have used, but they were only operational for 3 years because they used all the trees up.
Okay, let's go and have a look inside. Oh, wow.
Now originally the wood would have been stacked here, and then they would have done the second layer from these windows here, because this would all be blocked up.
They're huge. This is like a giant pizza oven, look. But they were used as bandit hideouts once they were discontinued. They've got all these little lookouts here, which were actually ventilation ducts for the burning. And the very nice acoustics. Okay, we've jumped back into Trudy after that little quick detour and a lunchtime pit stop. And we're going to continue along the loneliest road.
And
Right.
it's not that lonely because we just met a whole family, which I nicknamed the Special K because all their first names begin with K.
There you go,
Nice
the
to meet you,
Special K family. Just to put it into perspective, we've got to go all the way down the valley there just to get back on the highway by those hills. Lunatic! Trudy's getting a bit of a massage. Bob, how's your head? I was just looking out the window and I saw this thing running really fast, and I figured out it must be a road runner. It was like this tall with a spike on its head running on 2 feet, and it was running. You can tell we're in Nevada Casino, and we're coming into the town of Ely, so we're gonna grab some fuel. We've used about half a tank, and we're not sure when the next one will be, so it's always good to keep yourself topped up just in case. Here you go, loves. It's funny, some of the places you'll see there's a cash price and a credit card price, and Loves is one of those. Right, all topped up, forward we go. It's a cute little town with lots of casinos. Casino, casino, casino. Another casino. Look.
Motel Casino.
You can tell we're in the state of casinos. It's a thing here. So there's a big dust devil there, which is like a dust tornado. Yeah, the landscape's quite interesting. You go over a mountain range and then there's these flat plains in between, and then there's another mountain range, and it just kind of keeps repeating it. Oh, it's white over there. It looks like sand or salt flats there. So we found a spot on iOverlander, but we're not sure. We think it's down here. Are we sure?
I think so.
No, the road's collapsed ahead, so what we'll do is we'll drive past and see if we can access it from the other side.
Am I going back on
Yeah.
myself?
Yeah, this looks better. So there you go. This is where we're going to park up for the night. It's sort of late afternoon now. We've had good progress. It's been a good day. A beautiful, quiet location. And we even have internet signal, surprisingly, because there's cell towers up on the hill. All good?
I can't believe how quiet it is.
It's really quiet.
Apart from the noise of our fridge. There's
The
no
fridge
noise.
does make noise. Perfect end to the day. Stir-fried rice, Chris style. Is it good? Best way to use up all those odds and end veggies and eggs and everything. Egg fried rice. So we will see you in the morning for the next step of this long, loneliest road. Oh, what a wonderful spot and blue sky morning to wake up to. We had a fantastic night's sleep here on the loneliest road. Not a noise at all. Beautiful. I love these spots. Right, well today we're heading further along the loneliest road. Are you ready to rock and roll, baby?
But you're not going to be alone because you're with us.
We're doing it alone so you don't have to. So the first stop today, we've got about 150 miles to go to a very cool little eatery. Yes, believe it or not, on this road there is apparently an eatery. Although looking at the road at the moment, you wouldn't think so. What? There's a traffic jam on the loneliest road in America. All these yellow trucks are reversing. What's that about?
Maybe they forgot their lunch boxes back at the shed.
They forgot to go to the loo before they started work. But they're all reversing. You're looking for a remote house in the middle of nowhere, that is definitely one for you.
What a view to wake up to in the morning.
I wasn't quick enough on the camera, but a deer just bolted in front of us. That was close. A baby deer. Woo! There you go, we're just coming into the town of Austin. So many of you told us that we should visit Austin on our travels.
Yeah.
So we did.
We're here.
I'm just not sure it's the same Austin that you were thinking about. Oh, it's a nice little town, Austin. It's got a lovely sort of country American feel. Liquor store, saloon. There's your pizza restaurant.
I bet this is packed in the summer. Absolutely packed in the summer.
There's another little bar. I guess it must be big on hiking or people like us doing road trips on the loneliest road. That is one of the straightest roads we've seen. It literally goes all the way straight in front and up that mountain. So we just saw loads of things on the road.
Bouncing.
So we stopped to have a quick look.
The hell is that? The whole floor is alive.
Oh my God. They're crickets, like locusts. There are millions of them. And lots of squish ones too. There's one there. There's another one. And that's the road. That's disgustingly freaky.
Look at them walking along there. On the white stuff. That is freaking me out just a little bit.
There's millions of them.
Millions.
I have never in my life seen that. They're literally all over the road,
Walking all
jumping.
over.
We've driven a few miles and they're still walking all over the road. And I'm sure that's why there's two red lines on this side from where they've all been squished. I have never seen so many bugs. It's actually getting worse the further we go. Is this normal? I would love your comments below because I've never seen anything like this. There must be millions and millions because, and this is only just on the road. Just coming down into this valley here, and there's a huge line of white sand. They've got their own version of White Sands Park up here too. Love, guess what?
What?
There's another straight road.
Are we alone? Are we alone?
We are at the moment.
I think we might be.
I can't see anything forwards or backwards. There we go. This is our little pit stop. Welcome to the Middlegate Station. It was named after the surrounding hills.
Because the mountain ranges over there with the gap looks like an east gate. The one behind me looks like the west gate. So it just makes sense that this is the middle gate.
It was used as an active station on the Pony Express.
And if you don't know what the Pony Express was, it was a relay of horses that had mountain riders to run the express postal service.
The Pony Express was short-lived. It only operated from 1860 to 1861 because they built the Lincoln Highway.
And that was the first paved American highway to span across America.
It was, and that's why the Middlegate Station closed as a postal service, but it's been redone ever since then. It is a place where travelers along the loneliest road can stop for food, for drink. It's the only gas station in 50 miles, both directions. Luckily, we've got gas, but we are going to get some lunch, and the place looks absolutely amazing.
It does.
It's very atmospheric here. They've got loads of little bits and pieces that are very emotive to the olden days. So there would have been an old phone box. They've got some old carts over there. And here they've got a diesel pump, and it actually says Middlegate Pony Express on it. And you can see the horse there with the riders that would have been on it.
Oh, there's a cat.
Marianne's found a very friendly cat. It's the first time we've seen a cat in ages. And here's the entrance. This is so cool. Wonderful wooden bar. Oh, look. The whole ceiling is covered in dollar bills where people have left messages. Isn't that cool? So they got this burger here, the Middlegate Monster. Apparently, if you eat it all, you get a free t-shirt declaring a victory. It says it. We're not brave enough to try and do a food challenge.
Yeah, we just said no, we can't do that. But we're going to see it and we'll experience it.
Is it huge, is it? I think we're going to share one.
I've seen people try to eat it.
Oh,
And they can't do it.
no.
You get a t-shirt if you finish it off. There's no limit time. From the time you get the burger until we close. You need to use the bathroom before you start.
Oh, so you don't.
Oh, so you don't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And how many
okay.
people actually do it?
We had 28 for the service guys and 14 of them
Wow.
did it. They had one guy that he ate the whole monster
Yeah.
in 14 minutes and then ate a half of one.
Whoa,
That's just crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah.
that's a knife.
I'm expecting a big burger. It's a monster burger.
If it comes with a knife like that. Oh my goodness. Jeez. I can't believe anybody can eat that.
And then a half of one.
Oh my
One of those in
God.
15 minutes.
That would feed 4 of us.
Don't order any food, we've got it covered.
Lunch is on us, guys. I love the face. Look, they made us a nice little smiley face.
Even the tongue sticking out. That is just superb. Can we have 16 takeout boxes?
Well, that's Marianne's lunch,
Yeah,
and
that's mine.
my Caesar salad should be here in a minute.
I don't even know where to start.
I think you need to cut it straight down the middle.
Oh my god.
You do need a chainsaw. Have you got one in your truck?
Stuck on the
Look.
the size of that budget. You need to be like have a retractable mouth or something.
Okay, take a bite, Marianne.
Where?
Anywhere. That's ridiculous. That could feed 4 people. That right there.
Oh my god.
It's good though.
That is so tasty. There's onion, lettuce, tomato. There's some kind of burger sauce, really meaty meat, some cheese, some bun. All of that in my dainty little mouthful.
So after that huge burger, I don't think we're going to ever eat again.
Ever. But thank you so much, Patty, for looking after us. You're an absolute star.
If you're on the loneliest road, this is definitely a wonderful place to stop. And now we're continuing our adventure along the loneliest road. Being back home, America has that impression that it's got really huge portions of food. But apart from that burger, I think all the food we've eaten has been like normal British sized portions.
And in fact, that dish, the monster dish, is really more of a gimmick thing that the young guys come in and challenge each other.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you find in the cinema in Telford, next door, they've got exactly the same kind of thing. So yeah, food portion sizes, we haven't noticed to be any bigger.
Back to civilization, we're just coming through the town of Fallon. So we've just crossed the line that says, welcome to Carson City. I think that means we've officially survived the loneliest road in America. So now we've got to find somewhere to sleep. I found a spot, a car park on Iovananda, so fingers crossed we can park there for the night. So we found this spot in a car park here in Carson City. It's going to do us proud tonight. All looks good. And make sure you join us on the next episode when we head to Yosemite Park and then head west towards San Francisco and the Pacific Ocean. We will see you next time.